After a series of deadly natural and man-made disasters, civilization has been wiped out. Without electricity and resources, the world had to begin anew and survivors returned to the fields to scavenge. 500 years later, 6 men and women evolved their feudal society by owning and trading resources, earning their titles as barons. The former North American states are now a territory known as the Badlands, divided into 7 regions with a baron and a different resource for each of them. To protect their houses, the barons have recruited fighters called clippers, who fight with bladed weapons because firearms have been banned due to their lethality. A clipper called Sonny is riding his motorbike through a large field, only to stop when he notices a bunch of human bodies and a crashed truck on the side of the road. Examining the bodies, he discovers some broken chains, meaning someone escaped. Then he uses a spyglass and notices smoke coming from the forest, so he rushes there and meets a group of camping nomads. Sonny asks them about what he saw, pointing out that the cargo belonged to his baron. The nomads say they know nothing, but Sonny can see they have a fancy crate and calls them out. Then a man attacks Sonny, but he can't land a single hit and Sonny easily kills him. Furious, the others surround Sonny and attack him at the same time, but Sonny's martial arts skills are exceptional and he fights them all without breaking a sweat, killing them one by one until nobody is left. Afterward, Sonny finds gold coins with butterfly emblems on them. When he opens the crate, a teenager named MK jumps out and tries to escape. Sonny uses some bolas to capture him and knock him out. Moments later MK wakes up and sees Sonny burying all the bodies. After MK explains a baron known as the Widow paid those nomads to capture him, Sonny makes him help him finish the grave. Later the duo makes it to the fort, where Sonny shows MK the kids being trained to be clippers. Then they attend a conference by Baron Quinn, who reminds the trainees that religion is false and only he will feed them, not God. Quinn orders Sonny to remove his shirt, revealing numerous tattoos on his back which represent each kill Sonny has done for him. After the conference, Sonny tells Quinn and his son Ryder about what happened, but MK has no idea why the Widow wants him. Ryder wants to counterattack, but Quinn and Sonny refuse to start a war. Next MK is sent to the pit with the other boys, where Ajax bothers him and steals his necklace. MK immediately jumps on him and starts a fight, so Sonny comes over to break them apart. He takes the necklace from Ajax and is shocked to see the symbol of a metropolis, unaware that Ryder has noticed his reaction. Later Sonny returns to his cabin and reaches for a compass with the exact same symbol from MK's pendant. A flashback reveals he took the compass from a dead kid when he was young. At that moment Ryder shows up and takes the necklace away. In the evening, Sonny sneaks into another village to meet his lover Vale, who works as a doctor. After doing the naughty, Vale continues to teach Sonny how to read but also reveals a surprise: she's pregnant. However, Sonny tells her to get rid of it because bringing a baby into the Badlands wouldn't be wise or safe. As Vale tries to change his mind with stories of safe places outside the Badlands, Sonny ignores her and leaves. Back at the fort, MK is suddenly attacked by Ajax, whose attack makes MK's mouth bleed. The sight of his own blood makes MK's eye go black and move fast, kicking Ajax into a mirror. As the mirror breaks, MK grabs a falling shard and throws it at Ajax's eye, which is seen by Sonny. Then MK passes out, so Sonny takes him to his cabin. When MK wakes up, he admits that the effect happens whenever he bleeds, but he doesn't know what it is. It's happened since he was a kid and that's the reason why he and his mother had to run away. They had been looking for a doctor to fix him but they were caught by the nomads and separated. Sonny shows him his compass and MK recognizes it as his home Ezra, a city outside the Badlands that proves the legend right. MK wants his necklace back but Sonny says Ryder has it and sends MK back to the barracks. Afterward Sonny runs to tell Vale about Ezra but changes his mind right outside her door. On his way back, he notices a car nearby and he's suddenly surrounded by a group of warriors who attack him at the same time. Once again Sonny proves he's the best and fights them all without any issues, moving all over the street and even climbing on top of the car to stay in control of the fight. One by one all the guys are killed until the only person left is the one in the car, who turns out to be the Widow. She asks Sonny about MK, and after he refuses to help her, she leaves. Back to MK, he sneaks into Ryder's room to take back his necklace, but Ryder catches him red-handed and takes it back as he aggressively pushes MK against the wall. At that moment Lydia walks in and is shocked to see the design on the necklace. Then MK is imprisoned with a sentence for execution. Sonny visits him to ask why he risked it, so MK explains it's the only memory of his mother and asks Sonny to give her his farewells if he ever finds her. Seeing the boy have a breakdown, Sonny feels bad for him and decides to release him. He helps him escape through an underground tunnel that leads him out of the fort, unaware of Lydia seeing everything. In the evening, Ryder gets dirty with Jade, his father's third wife-to-be. At a bar, the Widow approaches her former regent, who grabs his sword only to be quickly disarmed. She's here to discuss politics but at that moment, she notices an assassin hiding nearby. The guy throws a hand axe at her, but she dodges it and it kills her former regent instead. Then the Widow begins fighting all the assassins in the room, expertly killing them all in seconds with her daggers. When there are only bodies left in the bar, the Widow interrogates a survivor and learns they were sent by Ryder. The next day MK continues to run through a forest, where he finds a bunch of pillars with a butterfly logo on them. At that moment he hears a noise and hides to watch Tilda hunt with great skill. Suddenly she appears behind him and accuses him of spying, however she takes pity on him when he explains he lost his farmer family to nomads. Tilda shares some food with him and MK notices her shuriken are shaped like butterflies. At that moment they hear dogs barking, which are part of a search party led by Ryder and Sunny. Luckily Tilda takes MK away with her into the widow's territory, and the search party can't follow them there without making it look like an act of war. When they make it to the widow's fort, MK learns that Tilda is the widow's daughter. MK is sent to have a bath and they uses the chance to interrogate him, pointing out he's lying about being a farmer. She asks him about a boy with a necklace and shows him a picture of Ezra, but MK pretends he knows nothing. Later 3 nomads come to see the widow but refuse to join her because they're afraid of Quinn, so the widow offers a deal: if Tilda can take down one of his men, they'll have to join her. The nomads agree, but if they win, they get to keep Tilda. A fight ensues between Tilda and one of the nomads, but it only takes her a few moves to easily kill him, which is seen by a hiding MK. Afterward the widow tells Tilda to fight MK and draw blood, hoping to prove he's the guy she's looking for. MK is told his training must begin and is left alone with Tilda, who immediately attacks and holds him at knife point. She asks about the forest and he desperately swears he had only been looking for his mother. Taking pity on him, Tilda uses her own blood to stain MK's cheek and tells him to pretend to be hurt. MK screams in fake pain and leaves while the widow watches from afar. Meanwhile Sunny escorts Quinn to see a doctor, who happens to be Vale's father. In private, the doctor informs Quinn that he has a brain tumor and he'll only live until winter solstice. Quinn asks him not to tell anyone, and on his way out, he orders Sunny to kill the doctor and his wife. Sunny refuses, saying those aren't enemies, so Quinn takes his sword and rushes inside to do it himself. Afterward Quinn orders Sunny to burn down the house and the bodies. In the evening, Sunny visits a grieving Vale and tells her Quinn killed her parents. He suspects Quinn is sick and is afraid of anyone knowing. Then Sunny promises to protect Vale and the baby, saying he'll take them out of the Badlands. In a small town, Ryder hires a naughty worker Angelica and notices she's got a block of his father's upper. He starts hurting her until she confesses she got it from the nomads, who have a turbine station full of it. Outside, a woman sees a sign left by Angelica. In the middle of the night, MK tells Tilda he needs to escape. They go into the office to look for a hidden passage that leads to the woods, but they hear the widow and the nomads coming. Tilda kisses MK to make it look like they were fooling around, and the widow announces that MK isn't welcome there anymore. While the nomads take MK away, the widow is informed that Ryder has taken the bait. On their way out, the nomad leader reveals a wanted sign and knocks MK out before putting him in his car. The next day, Ryder and Sunny scout out the turbine station, where a car drops a bunch of nomads. While the duo enters the station, MK wakes up inside the car trunk and uses a butterfly shuriken Tilda gave him to cut off the ropes. Inside, Ryder and Sunny check the boxes and find them empty, only to then be surrounded by nomads who announce they were sent by the widow. Ryder is immediately caught in a chain and begins choking until he passes out while Sunny fights the nomads. There is a whole army of them, but Sunny is still faster, stronger, and better trained, so it's incredibly easy for him to use the station to his advantage and make quick jumps to kill them all in seconds. Then he cuts the chain to free Ryder, only to be surprised from behind by the nomad leader. Sunny is about to die when suddenly MK shows up and kills the last nomad. Then MK announces he knows a way out of the Badlands, but Sunny can't leave because Quinn would kill him. Instead he decides to train MK so he can protect Vale and take her to Azra. After Ryder is taken to the doctor, Quinn sees MK and tries to choke him, but Sunny explains MK saved them and that he wants him as his apprentice. Quinn accepts after making MK swear loyalty to him. He also declares war on the widow. Sometime later, Quinn leads a group of clippers to invade the widow's territory. Sunny tells the students to stay put as lookout while he and the main army break into the fort and kill most of the soldiers, easily bringing them all down with quick strikes of their blades. MK ignores Sunny's orders and sneaks inside to steal a book with the logo of Azra. At that moment he hears noises and hides as he watches Tilda escape with the apprentices. MK calls her name, but she ignores him and leaves. Meanwhile Quinn finds the widow and starts fighting her as both warriors expertly use their blades in a deadly dance. Eventually Quinn manages to make the widow fall, but when he's about to kill her, he has a headache and collapses. The widow intends to kill him, however Sunny finds her and she escapes through the secret passage inside the house that Sunny can't open. After it's all over, MK shows Sunny the book, but Sunny is angry at the disobedience and hides it away. As punishment, Sunny makes MK stand on the edge of their training pit and pushes him to make him feel the fall. Then Sunny takes him to meet former Regent Waldo and asks him to fight him as a lesson. MK is skeptical because Waldo is in a wheelchair, but Waldo is fast and strong enough to just defeat him with his arms. When MK finally surrenders, Waldo reminds him to see beyond what's obvious. In the widow's territory, she and her pupils wander into an old home that they can use as shelter. The widow then orders Tilda to get Angelica before Sunny gets to her. In the meantime, Vale is brought to the fort to take care of Ryder. Lydia is skeptical of the bone drill, but Vale explains Ryder's brain is swollen and that if she doesn't do anything, he'll die overnight. The surgery is successfully performed and soon Ryder regains consciousness, so Quinn immediately asks him who set him up. Once Ryder explains, Sunny is sent to find Angelica. Moments later Sunny and MK arrive at the town and Sunny tells MK to wait outside while he flushes Angelica out. At that moment Tilda arrives and slaps MK before arguing over each other's loyalties. Inside, Sunny knocks out Angelica's client while she grabs her sword to attack, wounding Sunny in his chest. A fight ensues and Sunny quickly overpowers her, demanding to know where to find the widow. Angelica pushes him off and jumps through the window, so Sunny starts chasing her through the balconies until he blocks her way and restarts the fight. Unable to win, Angelica decides to self-delete. Seeing this, MK tells Tilda to run away. Afterward they go to Vale so she can stitch Sunny's wound and MK gets curious when he realizes Vale can read. Later, Quinn tells Sunny that his attack on the widow has ruffled the other barons and they want to parley. Quinn wants to form an alliance with Baron Jacoby and asks Sunny to arrange a meeting since he knows Zypher, Jacoby's regent. After Sunny leaves, MK sneaks into his room to retrieve the book. In the evening, Sunny meets with Zypher, who tells him that the other barons are preparing for war and he could prevent it by killing Quinn. Sunny is loyal and refuses, so Zypher says she'll try to get that meeting but makes no promises. Later, MK visits Vale and asks her to read the book, but she doesn't recognize the language. At that moment someone comes in, so MK rushes to hide. The visitor is Quinn, who asks Vale to save him like she saved Ryder. Vale gives him a concoction that could weaken him but also will slow down the growth of the tumor. Sometime later, Tilda is running in a forest covered in blood pretending to be a woman in trouble. She stops a car on the road and when the guys come out to help her, the widow and the other girls kill them. Tilda checks the back of the car and finds a bunch of gold while the widow picks a pickaxe from a dead guy. It's then revealed her army caught a clipper during the invasion, and now the widow uses the pickaxe to cut his head off. In the evening, Sunny watches MK train his forms on a combat dummy. Suddenly MK takes out a knife and considers activating his hidden power, but decides against it. In the morning, Sunny takes MK out to the middle of nowhere and cuts his arm, saying that they need to understand that power. MK's eyes immediately turn black and with just one hit, he knocks out Sunny before passing out. When they wake up, Sunny tells him that when it happens again, MK should focus on a safe or pure point inside him like a memory. In the fort, Quinn receives the head of the dead Clipper with the word parley on his forehead. Inside there's a note from Jacoby accusing him of attacking his gold transport. Quinn asks Ryder to ride out and agree to the parley. However, when Ryder meets with Zypher, he makes a proposal of his own. Sometime later, Sunny goes to see Vale only to find her talking to MK about the book. He's upset to hear they've been working together to understand the text because it means MK doesn't actually know how to get out of the Badlands. After MK leaves, Vale tells Sunny about Quinn's tumor. In the meantime, Jade breaks up with Ryder because she must get ready for the wedding, so a furious Ryder calls her naive for thinking Quinn's second wife died naturally and says she's in danger. Jade goes to talk to a servant, who explains that before the second wife's death, she saw Lydia gathering poisonous flowers. The next day Sunny picks 6 apprentices to come to the parley and MK gets angry over not being chosen. When Quinn and his group arrive at the city of the dead, Sunny detects someone nearby and grabs him, only to find MK. He scolds him and makes him keep guard while they go to the meeting. Zypher brings out Baron Jacoby, who doesn't believe Quinn when he says the widow is behind everything. At that moment MK sees Tilda arrive and throw a pickaxe, so she warns Sunny just in time to stop it from killing Quinn. Then Jacoby's and Quinn's men start fighting while Sunny chases after Tilda, only to suddenly be stopped by Zypher. While they start fighting each other, MK goes after Tilda and starts fighting her too. They exchange a few hits before Tilda runs away and throws a butterfly shuriken at him, causing him to bleed and activate his power. A desperate Tilda throws a vase at him but it does nothing, then MK grabs her by the neck and throws her against the wall. Tilda manages to dodge his attacks and says his name, snapping him out of it before he passes out. Then she notices Sunny watching them, so she throws another shuriken to distract him and runs away. Meanwhile most of the soldiers have died in combat, and now Jacoby and Quinn are about to duel each other. Zephyr comes to help but she's interrupted by Sunny, who presents Tilda's shuriken to prove the widow has been manipulating them. Jacoby tells Quinn that he was the one who got on the widow's bad side, so if he wants the other barons to calm down, he must deal with her. When Quinn's group returns to the fort, they're devastated to discover that the widow and her army have killed all the Clippers. A surviving housemaid explains that the apprentices were all bribed with gold. Quinn orders Sunny to bring him the widow for revenge. Meanwhile Zypher promises Ryder to take him to Jacoby but instead takes him to see the widow because Zypher has been working for her all along. The widow offers Ryder to help him get his father's position and Zypher to get Jacoby's if in return they get her MK. Tired of his father not believing in him, Ryder accepts the deal. Sometime later, Sunny rides to the docks and uses a gift from Waldo to get an audience with the River King. Sunny wants a way out of the Badlands and the River King points out he owed the favor to Waldo, not Sunny, so he offers a new deal. He explains had a shipment of 28 apprentices coming through but one of them killed all the others, so he wants the boy back in exchange for safe passage for Sunny. When he shows him a picture, Sonny is surprised to see MK. When he returns to the fort, Sonny continues to train MK and holds him on the edge while asking about the dead people in the boat. Suddenly MK's eyes turn black and push Sonny off the edge first, only for Sonny to wake up from the nightmare. He's at Vale's house and takes the chance to look at the book, only to discover his compass fits perfectly in a hole in the pages, which makes the arrows move. Meanwhile, the widow welcomes the several boys she freed from Quinn's fort, promising a better life. However, she also cuts their hands trying to find the boy with the secret power, but nobody reacts. At Quinn's fort, Ryder meets with Waldo to show him the necklace, and Waldo tells him to search for his grandfather because he may know something about it. Quinn tries to talk to the new recruits, but he starts feeling an unbearable headache, so he's taken back inside. Vale comes over to give him the medicine and Quinn tells her he didn't kill her parents, Sonny did. Later, Ryder visits his grandfather Penrith. At the sight of the necklace, Penrith explains it comes from Azra, a place that only exists in stories. After Ryder leaves, Penrith tells a cleric to notify the apostles in the fort that there is a dark one there. The next day, Sonny takes 3 warriors including MK to the forest to look for clues to find the widow. MK finds a butterfly shuriken and tries to grab it, but Sonny stops him and pokes it with a stick, causing a trap to spring immediately. Then Sonny jumps into the air and kicks a large tree branch, activating all other traps in the area. At that moment they hear a scream and find that a clipper has fallen into a trap. Sonny immediately frees him, but the guy won't be able to help with the leg wounded like that. When night falls, the group stops to make camp and Sonny orders MK to be on first watch. While the others sleep, Tilda secretly approaches MK to warn him that the widow suspects he's the boy with the power and that the more he uses that power, the weaker he'll get. In fact, using too much power will eventually kill him. Tilda advises MK to escape because everyone just wants to use him for power, from the widow to Sonny himself. Suddenly, Sonny appears behind her and knocks her down to capture her. MK tries to explain it was thanks to Tilda that he controlled his power the other day, but Sonny insists on interrogating her about the widow's location. Apprentice Bale insults her to make her talk, so Tilda bites his neck. Since Tilda refuses to talk, Sonny decides to take her to the fort. In the morning, the widow and her warriors arrive and find Tilda's dagger with blue cloth on it stuck on a tree. A furious widow orders a warrior to send word to their spy in the fort to plan a rescue. At the fort, Jade brings food for Quinn only to suddenly collapse as she has a seizure. In the dungeons, Sonny asks Tilda to tell him where the widow is hiding, stating he doesn't want to hurt her. At that moment the widow shows up and brings down MK with her whip. Sonny immediately attacks her and a battle ensues as they cross blades all over the dungeon. When Sonny kicks the widow through a wall, they find themselves in an armory, where they use all their weapons available to continue the fight. After going through dozens of weapons and even a torch, Sonny finally manages to overpower the widow and severely wounds her. Meanwhile MK frees Tilda, only to suddenly be knocked out by Bale. Tilda kicks Bale in return but he throws dirt at her eyes, allowing him to grab her by the hair and start beating her up. When MK wakes up, Bale makes sure to lock up the cell so he can't interrupt his revenge for the bite. Desperate to help Tilda, MK looks at his own blood to activate his power and send Bale flying. The sound interrupts Sonny when he's about to kill Widow and they watch in shock how Bale dies as he lands on some spikes. Seeing MK out of control, Sonny rushes to his side, but the boy passes out. Using this distraction, Tilda and the widow run away. Sonny follows them through a hidden tunnel but by the time he gets outside, they're gone. In the dungeons, it's revealed that Quinn has seen everything. The next day, Sonny goes to see the River King again and presents him Bale's head pretending it's MK's. The boys look alike and the River King believes it, so he tells Sonny to come with his friends exactly at midnight or they'll be left behind. Afterward Sonny goes to Vale's clinic and says that she mustn't check on Quinn today or he won't be able to get her out. Vale asks him if he killed her parents, and when Sonny reminds her that it was Quinn, Vale gets upset because did nothing to stop him. She's unsure if she wants to escape with him and says she'll think about it. Meanwhile, one of Penrith's men goes to an old cathedral to meet with 3 monks. He tells them that Penrith has found a dark one and shows them the wanted poster. The monks go to their car with a box and head out. At the fort, Lydia is taking care of Jade, only to be interrupted by a furious Quinn. He's sure that Lydia poisoned Jade and orders her out of the fort, not believing her when she says she's innocent. Afterward the Clippers escort Lydia out of the fort and Ryder approaches her to give her back her religious icons, also saying goodbye. However, Lydia tells him that he won't last a day without her before leaving. Eventually Lydia arrives at her father's home and asks for redemption as she shows the icons to prove she hasn't forgotten her roots. Penrith makes her swear she'll abandon all material possessions and that she'll never leave again, then he takes her to the frog pool for a cleansing ritual. After staying underwater for a few seconds, Lydia comes out and Penrith hugs her to welcome her back. In town, Vale is suddenly captured and taken to see the widow so she can take care of her wound. Vale gives her some medicine and starts working on the stitches. Once she's done, Vale leaves 3 small bottles for the widow, explaining that 2 of them contain poison while the 3rd is medicine. Vale will only say which one is which after she's escorted safely back to her clinic. The widow tells Tilda to take Vale home, and Tilda blindfolds her to do so. When they return to town, Vale tells Tilda that the blue bottle is the medicine and that her mother shouldn't be forcing young girls to fight for their cause, so Tilda now has the power to choose to save her or not. Back to Quinn, he confronts Sonny and accuses him of being the widow's spy while the other Clippers surround him. He makes Sonny hand in his sword and sends him to the dungeon, where he's kept chained to the bars. Afterward, Quinn calls MK and tells him that if he does whatever he says, he'll spare Sonny and bring Tilda to the fort for protection. Knowing that MK hasn't been with a woman, Quinn offers to take him to the naughty house where he can practice so he won't disappoint Tilda later. Later, Waldo tries to visit Sonny and a Clipper says it's forbidden, so Waldo hits him in the groin to make him fall and then snap his neck. Next, Waldo releases Sonny and tells him to escape before the widow attacks, making Sonny realize he's the widow's spy. Before Sonny leaves, Waldo gives him a necklace that he got from Sonny's neck when he found him as a child, and Sonny is shocked to see it's the same as MK's. In town, MK realizes something is wrong because there isn't a single person around. Quinn senses this too and tells the hiding men to come out. He isn't surprised to see Jacoby and Zypher come out, but he's devastated to see his own son has joined them. A desperate Quinn slashes MK on the right shoulder and hides while MK's eyes turn black. Jacoby tries to attack MK, but the boy easily overpowers him and throws him into a building. Meanwhile, Quinn bumps into Sonny, who immediately stabs him with his sword. On the street, Jacoby's men are overpowered and killed by MK, who is about to kill Ryder as well. Sonny stops him just in time, but MK just pushes him off while Ryder runs away. Then Zypher tries to cling to MK's legs, but he just grabs her by the hair and throws her away. At that moment, the three monks arrive and start fighting MK, using very precise strikes to hit the boy's pressure points to disable him. Sonny doesn't want them to leave with MK, so two monks start fighting him. The monks manage to hit Sonny a few times, but he's still strong enough to keep up with both of them, so the third monk decides to fight Sonny next, throwing him against the car. Using his swords, Sonny quickly retaliates and wounds the monk, who goes back to his friends and they concentrate together. Suddenly all lights go out on the streets and the monks' eyes turn dark. They attack together and overpower Sonny, who refuses to give up and attacks with his sword again. The monks break his sword and attack him in perfect coordination, beating him up before throwing him into a building. Then the monks put MK in a box and drive away while Sonny is found by a mysterious person. Later, when Vale arrives in town, he finds tons of bodies but no Sonny in sight except for his sword. In the morning, Sonny wakes up tied to a beam inside a ship. The River King shows up with Vale's head because he knows the truth, so he tells Sonny that no one double-crosses him. Since he isn't a killer, instead he'll sell him outside the Badlands. Meanwhile, MK wakes up and realizes he's also being taken out of the Badlands, but he is unable to break the box open. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.